We are here with Theodore Polychronopoulos. I think I pronounced it right. He's from Greece, and maybe you are wondering why a not Romanian artist is on Underdog Station TV. Because Theodore will be, let's say, the first artist which is coming from another country who will join our voyage on Underdog Station. You'll see later why we choose him to be the first one who is opening the virtual gates of Underdog Station. So, Theodore, why do you think we are here today? Maybe you want to meet, maybe you're launching something.
Thank you very much for the invitation, first of all, and for having me on this very nice Zoom conference. So on 1st of December, I'm releasing the first single from my upcoming album that is called The Voyage, and it is space themed. And I believe it goes well with the background you have, probably.
Yes.
And probably that's why you have me here.
Exactly.
And thank you very much for this. I would like to talk to you about the first single that is going out on the 1st of December.
Okay.
And thank you for this opportunity. Yeah, it is called Man and His Tools, and the first single, and the whole album, because I'm writing concept albums, and the concept is a journey to the outer space, very related to 2001: A Space Odyssey by Kubrick, and so it all starts with the first chapter of this album. It's called Man and His Tools, and it has to do with the whole destruction we are facing these days on Earth, and the main character on this concept realizes this destruction, and realize that the only future he has is if he abandons Earth and reaches out to outer space to find a new place for his existence.
Okay, and hopefully, we will meet together, because we are having the same journey on outer space in Underdog Station, where we'll reach a planet where independent music will be all over us. So maybe it's the same destination, who knows?
Yeah, and it is interesting for me because this concept album, if I may talk a little bit about this, it may start, the journey may start to find another place, another planet to survive, but conceptually, at the end of this record, and this record is going out on the beginning of March, and if you listen to the whole trip, what you realize is that it's not another planet that we're looking for, is our evolution and a more spiritual way of living, and a more spiritual human being. As in Space Odyssey, that we have at the last scene, we have the main character, Bowman, just going back as a baby, as an infant, but as a superhuman, evolved into a superhuman and going back to Earth. And this is the whole concept of the album.
Okay, so it's very interesting. So it seems that it's an outer space journey, but in fact, it's an inner evolution of our humankind. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and you will have a video clip, I think, because after this interview, our viewers will have the opportunity to see it in Premiere. Any hints can you give us about the story that is in the video clip?
Sure, I can tell you that because of the fact that this concept album, it will go along with a series of videos. It will have 3 or 4, and to tell the whole story in terms of a video. And because of Man and His Tools, that is located in Earth still, the concept of it, we see a very miserable character realizing his boring and miserable life on Earth, and but has several hints of telling him that there is something more and something else out there that he should probably chase. And he realizes that he cannot survive and he cannot find happiness here. So he gets in his car, drives miles and miles to reach a place that is unknown, not very earth-looking place. And he carries a suitcase with him, opens the suitcase, finds several things as a guidance of where he can go. And he looks up and decides to reach the stars. And that's the first chapter of it. And if you follow the progression of the album later on in the next months, you will find the whole story.
Definitely, of course. I mean, if we will have this first chapter of the voyage on Underdog Station, it's mandatory for us to see how it evolves. So we will meet again.
And if you lose me from sight, the same subside.
What can you tell us about the mixture, the fusion of genres, musical genres that you will have on this album?
Yeah, for me this is my fourth album, and I started writing it before all hell broke loose with the pandemic, but like a month before. It was like December of 19 that I started writing for this concept, and then it all made sense because somehow it's a way, an exit for this weird dystopic reality, and it was an exit for me because I spent 2 years working on this almost. And what I can tell you is that it has a very big difference with what I used to do before, because I used to work with my band and exchanging ideas and what I want to do. And this time I decided that this is an album that I need to focus by myself and just me and my producer. And this came up a much more electronic and much more energetic album, with a more extrovert vocal line and with a lot of references to the whole sci-fi culture that we have in music or in film. So there are a lot of references from Johann Strauss, that his music was the soundtrack of Space Odyssey, to Mahler and John Williams, that he did the Star Wars, till M83 and David Bowie, that they did also spacey themed music. And of course, because I cannot help it to abandon all of my influences, it has a more intellectual and intelligent way to approach my post-rock past that I cannot easily forget. But at the same time, I believe it's a more extrovert and more pop record for some reason.
Okay, so we are having.
But pop is a very subjective thing. In my mind, it is pop. I don't believe that your audience will say, "Okay, this is a pop record."
Okay, so a lot of puzzles from a lot of areas, so it will be very interesting. What can you tell us about the live performance that you foresee in the next future? And I'm interested also in Romania, if you are having some plans to visit Romania, but anywhere else.
Yeah, first of all, I would really like to say that I have visited Romania twice, once before the pandemic in 2020 or 2019. I played in Bucharest, and this was one of the best shows on this tour. I really enjoyed the Romanian people. I really had a great time there, and we also visited. It was the first festival I played after the pandemic. We played in Living Rock Tuzla, and we were shocked because we had 4,000 people. I believe there were something close to 4,000 people standing up, dancing with no masks on, because this back then it was a shocking thing, because in Greece we had total lockdowns and no concerts were allowed unless you were sitting and wearing your mask. And we had a great time indeed. And so the plans for this album is we are creating because I like to have in my headline shows an interesting audio-visual show with a lot of lights, a lot of images, a lot of things to experience the performance. It's not just it's never just a concert. And we are planning to have this on this album as well. And we are looking forward for the first tour to start after the album is out on March. And I believe we will, of course, visit you and visit the lovely crowd you have there.
Okay. So thank you very much, Theodore. Next is Man and His Tools. From Greece to outer space, with a station, a stop in Underdog Station. And thank you very much. Stay tuned on Underdog Station. Thank you. Bye.